Hi, this is Weekly Reflections, and I'm Nancy Joy. In 2 weeks, we have Solstice coming up, and I will be gone the next Monday, the 15th. So I titled this one Sliding into Solstice Through Your Heart. And remember last week we talked about the 3D emotional field is gone, really, and now we are vibrating with the 5D emotional field. And a lot of us don't know how to do that, and we're learning. So I'm really excited. I leave on my Alaska trip. I leave Wednesday. The trip starts Friday, the cruise. And I'm really excited to be presenting a lot of new information on how the 5D emotional body works. And so in line with that, a lot of it's coming through. I realized when I reread a bunch of my past reflections, a lot of this is already coming through. With the discovery of heart intelligence, and I'm sure you've heard of heart math and many of these programs, they have actually proven scientifically that emotional energy emanates from the heart. It's the primary source of emotions. Well, I knew that, but now that science says it, there must be something to it, right? And also, in discovering that, it's important to know that the heart puts out thousands and thousands, literally, of more energy units than the brain does. So obviously this is the powerhouse. And there's a good reason why. Let me explain about creation a little bit. When the egg and the sperm meet and a human zygote is formed, the first 8 cells when they join together, from those first original cells, the first differentiated cells that create organs are the heart. Therefore, the first organ to develop from the human zygote is the heart. And as scientists began to study this, because they couldn't understand how the brain isn't created till later on down after a number of organs, and they couldn't understand how the heart could even be beating without the brain to tell it what to do. But then they discovered from human fetuses that had developed hearts, I'm sure they were miscarriages or whatever, but they discovered that there are actual brain cells created in the heart as the heart is being created as the first organ. So in other words, the heart and the brain are one. And that makes so much sense. The brain came later, and it serves the function of corralling the energy and doing the bidding of the heart, let's say. Maybe it's the robot of the heart. I don't know. I could go crazy here. But in ancient Egypt, they knew this. In fact, in their process of mummification, the heart was the first thing mummified, and it was given a very important place of honor in a very beautiful urn and a center of the whole burial procedure. They actually threw the brains out. They put other organs in jars, funerary jars, and the brain they threw out. Not that I'm saying that I think we ought to throw out our brains, but I don't think we ought to throw them out because they're the same as our hearts. Our hearts and our brain are one, and this is 5th dimensional consciousness. So, of course, the emotions emanating from the heart and the brain are one. And it's so important because this takes us in the new emotional field that Ezekiel's been teaching me, takes us out of any duality of emotions. There are no good and bad emotions. There's emotional energy emanating from your heart, and you direct it according to your experiences, your feeling, your soul path. So it's very individual. And so this information is exciting, and some of this came a couple of years ago from Jambolo Melchizedek's Living in the Heart workshop, and you can go online and look that up if you have interest. But the first and most important step to expanding your consciousness in this new reality is to live in your heart as much as possible, and that takes practice because we're so used to dualistic, 3rd dimensional, linear ways of thinking and processing and being. So the heart and the brain are not separate. They've never been separate. They were created by God Creator, so you could learn to think from your heart space. So solstice is a very, very powerful time to give yourself a boost. And it would do you well to set aside some time. We'll talk about it. Maybe I'll be home in time to do one reflections for solstice, but set aside some time in that 3-day window, 20th, 21st, 22nd, depending where you are in the world, and really meditate, pray, whatever you do, thinking from your heart space, living from your heart space, seeing yourself, making all your choices and decisions from your heart space. Many years ago, maybe almost a decade ago, I channeled the heart for one of my clients who had asked me, how do I know if it's my heart and not, my brain or my ego or whatever? And there's a lovely link in my website under articles called When the Heart Speaks. And it would do everybody great to listen to it, because this is the time to live from your hearts. And you will know when you listen to the heart what it had to share, beyond a shadow of a doubt, how to do that exactly, how to live in that space. So I invite you to step forward between now and solstice and really change the whole way you were processing, thinking, understanding emotions, feelings, the heart, and the brain, and put them all in a new matrix, in a new petri dish, and create something fantastic. Because so much creativity, so much healing comes when we can separate the old way of dualistic emotions, good and bad, anger's bad, joy is good. All emotions, as Ezekiel told you last week in his quote, all emotions come from love. And a very good friend of mine sent me a quote from the Bible. It's Ezekiel 36:26. This is why I guess the emotional grid had me call it Ezekiel. It says, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. To me, this is our heart of stone is our dualistic heart. Both the chambers of the heart work together to create and to feed and to nourish your body on a physical level. On an energetic level, your heart is the seat of your soul. And it is now that we are returning to the heart. And I wish you a great solstice. I'm going to have a great trip, so I won't be back for a week or so. Please step up to the plate, take a deep breath, move into that heart space. And when you have a decision to make, when you have something that's bothering you, think with your heart, live from your heart. Have a great solstice and a great couple weeks. Catch you later. Catch the magic. Bye-bye.